Good night.
I love you, Mom.
David?
It's tough time.
David! David, wake up!
I got the idea after my son was born. My first son was born after about 5 years ago now.
Right.
And he had a very difficult birth, and we were very worried about him for the first few months. And we had a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of worry. And during that time, I saw how close the mother-son bond was between my wife and him. And I began to think, how far would a mother go to protect her son? What wouldn't she do? Is there anything that she wouldn't do to protect her son? And during those sleepless nights is when, at 4 o'clock in the morning, in between feeds or crying, whatever, is when I began to write Son. And then all of the other stuff just flowed from that.
But did that just flow from things that you thought, or did you actually, in doing your research, did you kind of come up across some kind of pedophile cult, or was that just something that you came up with yourself?
No. I mean, I didn't do any research for this.
Really?
I just began on page 1 and wrote it.
So you didn't do any research in terms of cults, PTSD, the medical
nothing
stuff? No, nothing at all, really.
No.
Well, that's fantastic. The one reason that I say that is because I mean, my mother and my father, they were both in the medical profession. They were doctors. They're retired now. But my father, for example, was everything but subtle. And the doctors in this film are exactly the same as I just kept thinking my dad. Was that for any specific reason? I mean, you said you didn't research it at all, it was quite surprising that a lot of doctors are actually like that.
Well, I think that becomes from, I'm a very neurotic person.
Right.
And I'm a hypochondriac, but at the same time, I'm terrified of doctors as well. And for me, doctors have always seemed sinister, no matter how friendly they are, and there's always seems something off about doctors, or that they hold life and death in their hands, and they always seem like they're not telling you everything they should or something, So that came very easily. That came from a very personal fear of doctors, I think,
Yeah, I think a lot of people can probably relate with that when they see the film.
Definitely.
Yeah.
The doctors couldn't find anything physically wrong with your son.
Think you could have been dreaming?
Wake up, honey.
Why do you think these people were here? Who were they?
I was raised in a cult.
All the actors are perfect. They're brilliant in this film, but I think the pivotal role, I think you'll agree, is the son. No, I'd love to know how you came across David,
Luke,
and how you work with him, because that is a hell of a role for. I think he's like 10. Was he 10, 11 when you filmed? That is one hell of a role to take on for such a young kid.
Yeah, he's only 10. I mean, he's 10 playing an 8-year-old, and for an adult, that would have been a difficult role.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
I knew. I mean, I always take my time, a lot of time, casting every single role in the film. I mean, for me, the movies I loved when I was growing up were those film noirs where a character goes from place to place, meeting all these wonderful character actors, and every one of them is perfect, and they're always memorable, no matter how small the role. But for the boy, we were months searching, because I wasn't satisfied with any of them, that we were finding. Some of them were very movie kiddish, which I didn't want.
Yeah.
I wanted a very real kid. And I think we were only 2 or 3 weeks away from shooting when we found Luke, who played David. And once I saw his audition tape, it was like, I knew it was him. And then I had Andy, who had already cast Reed with him on camera, and I could see their chemistry.
Right.
And then he lives in Atlanta. So I drove down from Mississippi to Atlanta, and I met him and his father. And I did some improv with him, and I had him read some scenes. There's a scene in it where he recounts a long dream. I had him do that for me as well. And I just knew it was him. He's just incredible, And also he has a great father and a great acting coach and a father as well.
Right.
So he was able to help me as well. So I was able to say, in the lead up to the filming, I would say to the father, you, not the kid, you should watch Cries and Whispers, the Bergman film, and you should see how the pain affects the woman and her reaction. then you should go back to him and explain to him as best you can what I want from that, you know?
Yeah. Because those scenes where he has the fits and things, it's just, it's so creepy and so realistic at the same time. Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah. Sorry, I lied again. I mean, I did say to the father, watch these videos of people having these fits as well.
Right.
And not Luke, but the father. So he was able then to explain to him. And then when we came on set, it was almost perfect. And I just had to adjust it then, you know? But again, with a child actor, it's crucial you have great parents as well. And Luke's father, Matthew, who's an actor himself, was just amazing, you know? And Luke is extremely smart for his age. And I was able to give him very, very subtle direction, and he was able to take it. And also, I've worked with kids now in my last 3 films on quite pivotal roles. In The Canal, I had the kid in that, and Never Grow Old, the Western, there was 2 children in that. So I've kind of developed a method of getting performances from children by sometimes not letting them know that the camera is rolling, and or tell them when we're rehearsing when we're not, and we're actually filming, and getting them to be as natural as possible and play in front of the camera, because that essentially is what acting is. At its best. It's playing, you know.
I mean, talking of playing,
and kids act. Yeah, sorry. And kids acting, they're completely in the moment, and adults could learn so much from that, you know.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, talking of playing, I got the chance to speak to Emile for the autopsy of Jane Doe, and I was surprised how method he was, because he actually went to morgues and he saw how they kind of dealt with dead bodies and things like that.
He just had fun with it. I mean, all the other characters had to go through these horrendous emotional turmoil and pain, but he was just having fun all the way through. I mean, he loved this. This was a real, you could see the relish on his face. As far as research, I gave him a lot of, I had him meet with a local cop from Mississippi and talk to him. And another thing I do for all the actors is I give them, for all my films, I give them a character history. So I write a character history from the moment the character is born to the moment the film starts. And then what I do is I have them interviewed on camera by an interviewer, not me, in character. And I ask them all of these very, very personal questions about their life.
It was like characters. You're going to send them undercover or something like that now,
Exactly. So they know they're completely ready for the roles by the time they get to the set, you know.
I mean, talking about Emile's role, you said that you gave them the background, and obviously he plays a cop in this film. But at the same time, I thought you didn't want to go down the kind of cop procedural film, not to kind of get bogged down in all that, no.
No, that kind of stuff is kind of really boring, you know. So I didn't really want to get that. I always saw Emile's character as like a cop who shouldn't be a cop. He's kind of out of his depth, you know. He's on the surface, he's a guy he's too nice to be a cop, you know.
This cult may still be out there.
Is that the boy?
There was never any cult. She retreated into a fantasy world.
I mean, I imagine during lockdown you've had plenty of time to think about where you want to go next. Is there anything that you can tell us about that you maybe are getting in off the ground, or that you'd like to get off the ground next?
I've just finished a script with John Bassoff, the crime novelist, the American crime novelist, called Vengeance, which is a very violent neo-noir. And I'm really excited about that. It's just gone out for financing now. We just got word that a really big actor is interested already. The script is getting a lot of buzz about it, so I'm really excited about that. I've just finished writing the first 2 episodes with another writer on a TV series that I'm show running called The Vanishing Triangle, which is it's a true crime series, loosely based on a true story set in Ireland in the 1990s. And I've just finished a draft of a treatment for a horror film set in 17th century Ireland, Cromwellian Ireland, at the invasion of Cromwell. And it's based on an actual witchcraft case.
All right.
Which I'm really excited about. Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, thanks very much for your time, and I wish you the best of luck with this film. I'm sure it's going to go really well, and I hope to speak to one of these projects that you just talked about in person next time.
That'd be amazing. Yeah, thanks so much.
Say the words.
Closer. It's all in your head.
You have no idea what he's capable